Namaskaram everyone. Namaskaram. Shubha Sayam Sarvebhyah. It's such a pleasure, honestly, to see so many people in a part of the world that I did not know. you know, Honestly, I did not know about or heard of Aberdeen before, but it's really an extreme, joy to see all of you here. Some of you might not know me. Hi. Namaskaram. Some of you might know me already through my videos. My name is Uday. I I love Sanskrit as a language. My mother tongue, I was born in Chittoor, which is border between Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So, growing up, we spoke both Tamil and Telugu at home. And every 3 years, we used to get transferred to new places. So, generally, traveling to new schools every 3 years, you have to make friends, learn the language there locally. So, through that course of time, not my plan, but just the learning new languages, finding those sounds which are common for the same meaning between different languages, and sometimes the same sound meaning entirely different things in the same language across different dialects. All of this was very fascinating for me. And once I finished my graduation and got into my first job, started looking for hobbies that entertained me a little, and just stumbled across Sanskrit as a language which was still being spoken. Atra santi kechana janaha ye samskrite sambhashanam kartum shaknuvanti. Bhavantah sarve api agre gatva samskrite sambhashanam kurvanti iti bhavayami. It was an eye-opening moment for me, because I thought Sanskrit is something that is lost with time. But once I got to know that there are still people conversing in Sanskrit, and most of these texts, millions of them are still not digitized, but there are millions that are digitized and they're lying there. Sorry. They're still lying there unaccessed. So it was a real eye opener, and I noticed that as I was learning it, it is coming very naturally because of my prior introduction to Indic languages. So started that pursuit of Sanskrit language out of sheer linguistic curiosity. I did not know of any profound elements of our heritage or nothing like that. So we used to just read Bhagavad Gita shlokas out of a curiosity for language. We used to just learn the grammatical aspects of it and all of those things. And somehow, again, without my plan, it led me towards Adhyatma and different other aspects of Sanskrit literature that again took me a lot of time and struggle, which changed my whole course of life towards yoga, uh, where I realized that this is where the real treasures are. So I started pursuing them more seriously and just went after that. And as I was doing that, finding more and more treasures, trying to relish them, unravel them for myself. Soundarya Lahari was one of the texts that I stumbled upon. I don't know how many of you are here just for Soundarya Lahari. Can I just have a quick sense of who we all are, and how many Telugu speakers? Telugu mother tongue. How many? Thank you so much. Tamil vallu, Tamil pesranga. Okay. Marathi people, Gujaratis. Only one. Others, Kannadigas, two Kannadigas, four Kannadigas. Amazing. Any other parts of like Hindi, Uttar Bharat के लोग? अच्छा, उत्तर भारत के मतलब सब जोड़ दिए हैं, मध्य प्रदेश, उत्तर प्रदेश, सब एक ही बकेट में. But such a diverse Bangla. No, Bengalis. Okay. So amazing to see such a diverse crowd. And I was curious about all these languages, and I try to educate myself about these. And Malayali is in the But so I was curious about these languages and trying to learn about Sanskrit and how it flourished in all these states as its own language. So there are saints and sages in each of these states who were giants in their own language and also in Sanskrit. So Kannada from Gujarat to Adi Shankara in Kerala to Madhva in Karnataka to Ramanuja, and many people across multiple states who were stalwarts in Sanskrit, who had composed brilliant pieces in Sanskrit, but were also, revered across the country. So trying to learn all those, that is where my curiosity lies. And I eventually, as I was doing that, uh, to make a livelihood out of it, I started a YouTube channel. For the young ones, I have about 1.2 million subscribers, just a little bit of a flex. And it has been working well. Um, but there are some chairs there. Yeah. Yes, at the front also, you can come here. So, what I found as I was teaching myself these languages and exploring Sanskrit and Sanskrit speaking and Sanskrit language and Sanskrit literature was the profound perception, insight into some of the most unexplored aspects of life that we prioritized as a civilization. Some of the most fundamental questions of life, the most fundamental that all of us definitely are aware of in the civilization as the most, who am I? What is this? How am I connected to the divine? What is, there is creation around that I see, there is me. How am I? What is this connection between me and the creation around me? And the multitude of ways in which that insight into that relationship between me and the creation around me, how many ways that has been presented, in how many different methods that can be approached. So this was one of the most profound realizations that I had about what our civilization is and what kind of literature we poured out, and how many different ways there are that we worshipped that we approached the divine with. And for me, one of those tools is Sanskrit language itself. And many tools like that, many, from Shaiva, Shakta, Ganapatya, Smarta, so many different approaches, from Bhakti Yoga to Jnana Yoga to Karma Yoga to Kriya Yoga, and multiple combinations of all of them. And how, irrespective of how unique any of these paths may seem, how they all are rooted in that and in answering and those same fundamental questions as to what is this relationship between me and the creation around me. What is, if there is a power behind this that's creating all of this, what is the nature of it? And one of those extremely profound texts is Soundarya Lahari. There are many profound texts like that, from the Upanishads to many stotras to many kavyas, all of these presenting this relationship. Some of them a little more technical, like the Yoga Sutras, where there is really not much to relish. There is a lot to contemplate and ponder over and delve into, but they are very technical, like the Ishavasya Upanishad or Patanjali Yoga Sutras or Yoga Vasishtham, these, or Gheranda Samhita, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, all of these texts. And then there are texts like Soundarya Lahari, which are such beautiful expressions of this exact same principle. They are also trying to present the exact same thing, providing yet another method. And they leverage the magic of what Sanskrit can be, the extent to which Sanskrit can tickle our fancy, and how profound these expressions can be. Let's start with a simple shloka that approaches the divine as a feminine form. All of creation, again, there are many metaphors for how the creation is. One of those metaphors is the emptiness of creation is Shiva, and all matter that exists, even the subtlest energy and subtlest vibration to the densest creation, is all Shakti. So there is that one metaphor of all of creation being Shiva and Shakti, and they being the primordial parents, Jagataf Pitarau, of all of creation. Let's start with a simple shloka which worships Shiva and Shakti, but also takes us from that metaphor to language. Can I ask you all to close your eyes? If you're wearing spectacles, please put them aside. If you want to hold any mudra, it's up to you. Otherwise, you can just keep your palms on your laps. Or if you want to hold any mudra, that's also fine. Please repeat after me. Please keep your eyes closed. Vagarthaviva.
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 Sampraktau.
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 Vagartha.
Vagartha.
Pratipattaye.
Pratipattaye.
Vagartha Pratipattaye.
Vagartha Pratipattaye.
Vagartha Pratipattaye.
Vagartha Pratipattaye.
Jagatah Pitarau.
Jagatah Pitarau.
Jagatah Pitarau.
Jagatah Pitarau.
Vande.
Vande.
Parvati Parameshwarau.
Parvati Parameshwarau.
Parvati Parameshwarau.
Parvati Parameshwarau.
Vagarthaviva Sampraktau.
Vagarthaviva Sampraktau.
Vagartha Pratipattaye.
Vagartha Pratipattaye.
Jagatah Pitarau Vande.
Jagatah Pitarau Vande.
Parvati Parameshwarau.
Parvati Parameshwarau.
Please gently open your eyes. So this takes us from that metaphor of Shiva and Shakti being the parents of all of creation, being the forces that cause creation, the divine entities, to sound and vibration, and how sound and its essence, how sound and meaning are intertwined. You might be looking for maybe a spiritual discourse, but I am a language teacher at the end of the day, so I'll try to sneak in some language lessons into it. One question I have for you is, have you noticed this word, station? All of us know the word station. And can you tell me a Sanskrit word which means the same thing and has the same sound? Sthala, sthalam. Something close. Sthala is a wonderful example. Anything else in Hindi? Station, sthana, wonderful. Statue, we all know. Have you heard the word sthanu? Sthanu, sthala, sthana, station, statue, sthiti. You know what the English word for sthiti is? State. State can, or situation. What is a common sound? Stha. You've heard stalls, install, stable. How is there a commonality between what all of these words convey and the sound used for all of this? What they convey and the sound stha means something that is situated, stable, sthanam, sthiti, sthavaram, sthanu. Some linguists, lazy linguists, I'd say, my opinion, but I think linguists explain this that, oh, people migrated and therefore they took these words across to different places. And that's how they, like how dhyana became chan and zen, and this. That is one explanation that is valid, but not for every word. That is not the only explanation there is. There is this understanding which is sometimes beyond the rational understanding of, reasoning, understanding through reasoning, that sounds have something inherent within them, an essence within them that is so inherent to the sound itself, how the sound is uttered, that irrespective of which part of the world tried to convey that essence, the same sound came out. So there are many, many other simpler examples for this. There is, of course, matra as a sound, mata and mother, bhrata and brother, pita and pater, Uh, there is also same and sama have the same sounds. And it's, if you just go on this rabbit hole as to why sounds mean what they do, there is this shloka that we just chanted is the kind of final verdict on that, that vak, which is sound that we utter, and artha, the essence that it conveys, are intertwined with each other like Shiva and Shakti. They are, this is where sound and its meaning is connected to each other. And the first shloka of Soundarya Lahari also conveys that relationship between Shiva and Shakti. So let's chant the first shloka. How many of you interested in just language lessons, or you want to go into Soundarya Lahari also? Language lessons, Soundarya Lahari also. Can we chant the first shloka of Soundarya Lahari? This is a little more, uh, I wouldn't say difficult, but complex. There is complexity to it. Yes. Trailers, Shiva Shakti Yukto. We'll learn it. No worries if you don't know the shloka already. We'll go at it step by step. But what I want you to ponder over is how these metaphors are something that cuts across traditions. It's not necessary that one needs to be spiritual. This is not just a seeking for something that is God, or female God, male God. This is something about how we connect to what is the source of creation, how we pursue it, what kind of methods and tools we have to access that divinity, and where the answers lie as to where that divinity lies. So can we all do this shloka? Little complex, little bit of a challenge. Let's see if we can do it. Maybe I'm just getting this idea now. Maybe we can then form a circle and divide ourselves into groups and do this as a group activity, that we chant this shloka in groups and try this out. So please close your eyes. Take your spectacles off if you are wearing them already. Please repeat after me. Shiva Shaktya Yukto, Shiva Shaktya Yukto, Shiva Shaktya Yukto,
Shiva Shaktya Yukto,
Yadi Bhavati Shakta,
Yadi Bhavati Shakta,
Yadi Bhavati Shakta,
Yadi Bhavati Shakta,
Prabhavitum,
Prabhavitum,
Yadi Bhavati Shakta, Prabhavitum, Prabhavitum, Yadi Bhavati Shakta, Shakta, Prabhavitum. Once again, the whole thing together. Yadi Bhavati Shakta, Prabhavitum.
Yadi Bhavati Shakta, Prabhavitum,
Shiva Shaktya Yukto,
Shiva Shaktya Yukto,
Yadi Bhavati Shakta, Prabhavitum,
Yadi Bhavati Shakta, Prabhavitum,
Nachet Evam,
Nachedevam,
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 Devo,
Devo,
Nachedevam, Devo,
Nachedevam, Devo,
Nakhalu,
Nakalu,
Nakhalu,
Nakalu,
Kushala,
Kushala,
Spanditumapi,
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 Nakhalu Kushala,
Nakalu Kushala,
Spanditumapi,
Spanditumapi,
Nakhalu Kushala, Spanditumapi,
Nakalu Kushala, Spanditumapi,
Nachedevam Devo,
Nachedevam, Devo,
Nakhalu Kushala, Spanditumapi,
Nakalu Kushala, Spanditumapi,
Atastvam,
Ataswam,
Aradhyam,
Aradhyam,
atastvamadhyam
Adastvamaradhyam
atastvamadhyam
Adastvamaradhyam
harihara virinchadibhirapi
Harihara
virinchadibhirapi
Virinchadibhirapi
harihara virinchadibhirapi
Harihara
virinchadibhirapi
Virinchadibhirapi
atastvamadhyam
Adastvamaradhyam
harihara virinchadibhirapi
Harihara Virinchadibhirapi
pranantum
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 stotum va
Stotum va
pranantum stotum va
Pranantum Stotum va
pranantum stotum va
Pranantum Stotum va
kathamakrita punya kathamakrita punya katham
Katham
akrita
Akrita
punya
Punya
kathamakrita punya
Kathamakrita Punya
prabhavati
Prabhavati
kathamakrita punya
Kathamakrita Punya
prabhavati
Prabhavati
pranantum stotum va
Pranantum Stotum va
kathamakrita punya prabhavati
Punya Prabhavati
kathamakrita punya prabhavati.
Kathamakrita Punya Prabhavati.
Please gently open your eyes. Slightly complex, but same shloka as similar, trying to convey the same thing as the first simpler shloka. Before we go into the meanings of it, how many of you, I know all of you are eager to learn the meanings of this, slightly challenging shloka, but I want you to see, especially again the young ones, if each of these lines, the 4 lines that we chanted, has something similar in terms of sound between all of them. Shiva Shaktya yukto yadi bhavati shaktah prabhavitum na chedevam devo na khalu kushala spanditumapi atastvamadhyam harihara virinchadibhirapi pranantum stotum va kathamakrita punyah prabhavati. If I were to say these same lines without the letters, but just by their rhythm, this is how they would go. Na 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 na. One line. Second line, same pattern. Na 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 na. You can count it. It's 17 syllables. Every line. First line, second line, third line, fourth line, same syllable, same pattern, same rhythm. Na 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 na. Meaningful words. Not just the first 4 lines, it has 100 shlokas like this. Every single line in each of these 100 shlokas, 400 lines in the same pattern. Na 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 na. This is just one of many possible patterns in Sanskrit language. This is called a chandas. In English, it is poetic meter. Those who are fans of Dan Brown know this iambic pentameter. There are pentameters, hexameters, septameters in English, where they choose words based on the rhythms they have. In Sanskrit, the same study is approached as chandas, and they have names like iambic pentameter. This one is called shikharini. Na 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 na. That rhythm, this particular pattern, all know jata tavi galat jala pravaha pavitasthale. Anybody would like to guess what the rhythm there is? Jata tavi galat jala pravaha pavitasthale. If you were to put it in na and na, guesses? I know it's a cold city, but let's warm it up a little bit. Any guesses? Exactly. It's jata tavi gala jala pravaha pa vitasthale gale valam na 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 na. Simple. One short, one long. It's almost binary. Everything is binary only. There's one short syllable, one long syllable. This is exactly one alternating zeros and ones. Na 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 na. This one is called bhujanga prayatam, movement of a snake. See? That has another name, that chandas, that rhythm. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham na 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 na. That's yet another pattern. So there are, I'm so sorry, this is Bhujanga Prayatam. That one was Panchachamaram. So each of these rhythms have a name, and this one is called Shikharini, and the composer of this shloka that we just learned, Adi Shankaracharya, a Malayali man, who is adapted as their own. You go to Gujarat and say Adi Shankaracharya, they think, ah, Dwarka hamara admi hai. You go somewhere Kedar, they say, ha, of course, our man. You know, Assam, somewhere you go, it's our man. Somewhere he was born in Kaladi. In like when you know people look very very different. Of course, Malayali man would look. He's an Aberdeen. He came here. They would have put up a shrine here saying yes, Aberdeen man. So he composed these 100 shlokas, 4 lines in this exact same rhythm, and chose this particular chandas, which is called Shikharini. Any guesses as to what Shikharini could mean? You know this word already.
A peak or a mountain.
Shikhara, good guess. Good guess. Shikharini, the Tara Sthai, the Tar, Shikhar. Good, interesting guess. You know, can anybody venture a guess as to what a commonality between Shikharini and Parvati can be? Parvati, we all know, daughter of a mountain, because Parvata, Parvati. Shikhara, Shikharini, daughter of a peak, of a mountain peak. It is her name. Shikharini is Parvati. Shakti. He thought, oh, I'm writing verses on her, let me just speak the same rhythm. Every single line. Can we do that shloka one more time? And then we'll go to the meanings of it. Let's close our eyes. Shall we do it line by line this time?
Yeah, that's what I was
Let me do this. I'll do it very, very slowly first. And when you are repeating, I will do it with you.
Yeah.
So if you are unable to do this whole line, everybody, all of us will do it at this extremely slow pace twice. And when you go back, if you, and I have videos on this, so like, share, subscribe, watch these videos on YouTube. You can watch this and practice this at the same pace. And I'll share the link with you on how you can chant this. We'll then come to how the same understanding, the same metaphor of Shiva and Shakti is approached in many other methods. One of those methods being diagrams, geometrical patterns, and how they correlate to the human body. We'll do that. This is how I thought we'll plan this evening. And then maybe we can have, groups among ourselves and we can do some chants. Maybe a group can chant once they know how they master it. So please close your eyes. Listen to me once doing it. Then the second time we'll do it together and I'll also join you. So we'll do it very, very slowly. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum. Na chedevam devo na khalu kushala spanditumapi. Na chedevam devo na khalu kushala spanditumapi. Atastvamadhyam Harihara virinchadibhirapi. Atastvamadhyam Harihara virinchadibhirapi. Pranantum stotum va Kathamakrita punya prabhavati pranantum stotum va kathamakrita punya prabhavati. Please gently open your eyes. Some smart people already had the lyrics open. You know who you are. But it's easy. This complex thing, this is native to all of us. This is not some alien language. Once you start reading it, it's native to every single one of us. Just all we need to know is one Indian language, and it seems that we know most of these words. So I'll not go into a word by word analysis, and I'll not tell you the vibhaktis and vachanas and all of that. But roughly, if you want to, we can do that also. Split the words of this. But what Adi Shankaracharya is trying to say is Shivaha Shaktya Yuktaha Yadi. Yadi is if Shiva is Yuktaha, is united with Shakti. If he is united with Shakti, Bhavati Shaktah Prabhavitum. He becomes Shaktaha. What a unique play of words. We know Sashakt as a word, which is capable. Capable is Sashakt, which means who is energetic, with energy. Sa Shakta. When one has that energy to do something. Yadi bhavati Shakta, he becomes Shakta Prabhavitum. To respond, to Prabhava. Prabhava is an effect. So he becomes capable of exerting an influence. He becomes capable of action only if he is united with Shakti. Nachet, if not so, evam is like this. Nachet evam devaha, that Lord, nakhalu kushala spanditumapi. Spandana is again a response. Nakhalu kushala, isn't it so that he is not even capable of a response? Not just not acting, even if you go poke him, he'll not respond. It's as if he is rigid. Shava. You go poke a Shava, nothing, no response. So Shiva, they say without Shakti is a Shava. The word play, it's insane that how Shava is what is used for a corpse and Shiva becomes divine. The only thing that is added to that is energy. Shakti. Ataha, therefore, Adi Shankaracharya says, because of this reason, if one were to approach Shakti and worship of Shakti, Atastvam Aradhyam, by whom? Who is she worthy of worship from? Hari Hara Virinchadibhirapi. It's not just humans who are worshipping her, Shakti, but even the Devas, who are the primal trinity, who are the causes of creation, maintenance, and destruction. There, even for their functions, for them to act, for them to be Sashakta, they need Shakti. So, to approach such a being, such a force of creation, how can somebody who hasn't done any merit be capable of it? She is worship worthy of the Devas themselves. So, if one is on the path of worshipping or one is on the path of accessing the divine within as Shakti, one has already Katham Akrita Punya. What a language that somebody who did not do any merit before is Akrita Punya. Krita is done, Punya is merit or virtue. A is negating all of that. Anybody who has not done any virtue, how can such a person even access it? So, Shiva and Shakti being the most fundamental aspects of creation, I wish I can go on to the entire 100 shlokas and say how this connects to the last shloka. At the end of it, he comes back and says, it is, he is her. It's a beautiful work. So this is a good reason for you to start on that playlist and learn all the 100 shlokas. But coming back to this one, first shloka of Soundarya Lahari, this marvelous, brilliant masterpiece of Sanskrit literature, which is yet another metaphor for how, if there were to be a metaphorical mother and father of creation, what their relationship is like, and if there is a child who is approaching them, what kind of a fortune it is to be their child and accessing them like this. Pranantum stotumva, I did not cover that. Pranama is to bow down, stotumva is to worship them. Pranantum stotumva, to do any of these. And this is how the first shloka of Soundarya Lahari goes. Now, he goes on from here to worship the Mata in many complex, picturesque descriptions. And Soundarya, all of us know, Sundara is beautiful. Soundarya is beauty. And Lahari, Leher, is a wave. This, literally, these 100 shlokas are a tsunami of beauty. It's just, it washes over you like nothing else. And I was on this pursuit. Again, when I started this, Soundarya Lahari, it was yet another piece of literature of linguistic curiosity. Oh, okay, Adi Shankaracharya, this, genius, who has enormous command over the play of words, wrote yet another masterpiece, so let me read it. And as one's reading that, this is beautiful. Then he goes on to describe how it is the dust below her feet. The mother goddess, it is the dust below her feet, which first Brahma collected and created all the worlds. And then Vishnu, it is the same worlds, that dust, became the serpent that holds up all of these worlds and held them up on his head. And Rudra, the destroyer, brought it back, destroyed it, and smeared them on his own body as ash. What is all of this? The dust below her feet. This beautiful imagery, then goes on and on and on in such intricate detail, and suddenly transforms to, 4 triangles plus 5 triangles is equal to 9 triangles, and they form 44 intersections. Like, what is happening here? That, this was all so poetic. Why did math come in all of a sudden? This is a shloka that is experience based. So let's do, I think this is, I don't remember the number, that's my problem. I want you to go back and find that number, but this whole beautiful descriptions transforms into a mathematical shloka. We'll do that now. 2 shlokas can we do today, or one is enough?
Yeah.
2, let's do 2. Please close your eyes. Let's do this. We'll do it step by step first, word by word, and then maybe if we feel like it, we can do it line by line also. Please repeat after me. Chaturbhe Shri Kanthai Chaturbhe Shri Kanthai Shiva Yuvatibhe Panchabhirapi Chaturbhe Shri Kanthai Shiva Yuvatibhe Panchabhirapi Shiva Yuvatibhe Panchabhirapi. Together. Shiva, you can do it with me. Shiva Yuvatibhe Panchabhirapi Prabhinnabhi Shambho Prabhinnabhi Shambho Navabhirapi Mula Prakritibhi Navabhirapi Mula Prakritibhi Chatuschatvarimshat Vasudala Kalashra Trivalaya
Trivalaya
Chatushchatvarimshat
Chatushchatvarimsha
Vasudala
Vasudala
Kalashra
Kalasha
Trivalaya
Trivalaya
Trirekhabhi
Trirekhabhi
Sardham
Sardam
Tava
Tava
Sharanakona
Sharanakona
Tava Sharanakona
Tava Sharanakona
Parinataha
Parinataha
Tava Sharanakona Parinataha
Tava Sharanakona Parinataha
Trirekhabhisardham
Trirekhabhisardham
Tava Sharanakona Parinata Tava Sharanakona Parinata. Please gently open your eyes.
I think this is 10 or 11 somewhere.
15. Yeah, maybe somewhere there. I don't remember them by numbers. But good that numbers are coming up because the whole shloka has numbers fully. Like Chaturbhi Shri Kantaihi with 4 aspects of Shri Kantha. Shri Kantha is Shiva, the one who has Shri. We call that Shri. When he drinks poison, it becomes Shri. Shri Kantaihi with 4 of them. Chaturbhi Shiva Yuvatibhi Panchabhirapi with 5 aspects of Shiva Yuvati, the feminine counterpart of Shiva. And then this 5 and 4, when they intersect, suddenly 44 comes, not plus. So there is something else that is happening with 5 and 4 aspects, that when they intersect, there are 44 different points that are happening. 44 is coming out of it. And what those 44 are different intersections. If you have 4 triangles that are upward moving and 5 triangles that are downward moving, if you were to draw it on a wall, or if you were to draw it on a floor, 4 that are pointing upwards away from you and 5 that are pointing downwards towards you, and you intersect them, overlap them, so that if any 2 triangles are intersecting, any other overlapping triangle on top of that can only be formed through the intersections that have already happened, and these are drawn inside inside a circle so that they all intersect. This is a complex geometrical pattern. If possible, let's see if we can visualize it also, but you'll see these images on the internet. Some of them, most of them might be geometrically imprecise. They have some rules, and there are thousands of mathematical research papers from reputed universities trying to find solutions to this question, that if 4 triangles and 5 triangles were to intersect with each other and they cannot form unintended triangles among them, within them, and any of their common intersection points have to be, if there is a junction of multiple intersections, they have to be a single point. They can't be, a smudge. Then how many possible ways can it be done? Somewhere they have come up that theoretically it is impossible, they have declared. But still they draw, we have it, because the lines are not exactly lines with 0 width. We still draw lines with some width. Materially, whenever we draw it mathematically, there is some width, so that accounts for that solution. Anyway, not going too much into the mathematics of it, you see this has become too technical. So the engineer within me was like, why has this become technical? What is he talking about? And the pattern, the Shri Yantra, that we all know, we have some or heard at least that, okay, there is some kind of a geometrical pattern which is quite complex, which is worshipped and which is seen across, and the West has quite taken up to Shri Yantra, and you find it on keychains, lockets, and pendants and all over the place. What is that? What is this pattern? What does it signify? And this shloka talks about that, not in a lot of detail, but starts presenting what this intersection is like. And that led me towards this curiosity of, what is this metaphor? What is this kind of approach to the divine? We all know there is faith, there is belief, there is devotion, there's mathematics in worship of the divine, in puja, and whatever we are, how to connect with the divine. This is technical. This is engineering almost, that you're building precise geometric figures to approach the divine. And when I started that study, I found that there is this whole path of Shri Vidya, where they perceive the human body as a machine. The entire human body here, we have, it's capable of multiple things. It has multiple organs functioning within. Physically, of course, we all see that it has, moving parts, which are, even now Boston Dynamics is trying to recreate this is their highest project. We are going to the moon, and that we have figured out, and bringing back and forth satellites, but not this yet. I don't know how far away we are from that, or if that's a topic for different debate. But we all perceive and understand that this still is the most complex machine there is, which is capable of extremely subtle functions. And this machine, they have made a blueprint of it and come up with this complex triangles and in their intersections, and given them names that, okay, if from, all of you know the 7 chakras, Doctor Strange, and that has they have made it popular too. From the base of the spine to the top of the spine, quite physically, from the densest to the subtlest. Even if we look at how matter arranges itself, how our functions arrange themselves in the human body, like our digested food, waste, everything at the lowermost, and water and elements, bladders, and everything slightly above that. The wind apparatus slightly above that, the sound apparatus slightly above that. So it's going Bhumi, Jala, Agni, the fire, digestive fires above that, the wind above that, sound above that, and thought above that. So from the densest to the subtlest, it's arranging itself. It's not like there is any two ways about it. Along the spine, there is a clear progression of how things are progressing. What is beyond that, still the Western society is trying to come to terms with it. For in the Western societies, thought is the highest, the subtlest faculty a human machine is capable of. I think, therefore I am, is the understanding that they have. Because if I am not capable of thought, there is nothing else beyond that. My existence is because of my thought, is their understanding. But ours meaning Sanatana Dharma and its traditions, have perceived and expressed that it is because of the being that thought is one of the faculties, and there is some state of being which is not incapable of thought, not without thought, but that is beyond thought, for which thought is just one of the faculties. If that state of being wants to use thought, it uses it, otherwise it is beyond that. And what is that state of being, and how is that state of being in me and you and in people around us, and where that connects is the definition of the divine. Many, 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 many names for it across the world. We all know Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, and the consciousness and the subconscious, the super consciousness, universal super consciousness, all these terms we know. But how do we get there? What is the method of accessing that state of being where one realizes that thought is not the subtlest form of being, but there is something more profound? Are all these paths. And this machine that they drew, the Shri Yantra, which denotes this whole human body as a geometric pattern, represents that final, along the spine. The spine doesn't end here, of course, it continues upwards. That point somewhere on top, which we don't know what it is capable of fully yet, at the Brahmarandra, whatever names, Sahasrara, the names for it, as the source of all the entire geometric pattern. The dot, which is inside, the bindu. And that is said to be the place where the goddess puts her toes, of just one toe there. And that is the source of all of creation. That is where it's coming from. And this, when you even look at that Shri Yantra Meru, it's almost a pyramidal structure with that. Some people represent it as just a dot. Some people put a sphere on top, that it's, in 3 dimensions, the point is a sphere, and put that. And below that, there is a triangle, which represents the Agnya Chakra, the center of the forehead. And below that, there is a pattern of 8 corners. And below that is another pattern of 10 corners, another 10 corners, another 14 corners. And like that, this, if we were to just spread out that 4 and 5 intersecting triangles in a two-dimensional plane outwards, if we all sit cross-legged, if we put a Shri Yantra beside it, this and this human body has a one-to-one correlation between what that is and what this is. If you just look at it from top, it is these triangles matching, intersecting. But if we were to look at it side by side, the Shri Yantra Meru is how you sit cross-legged. And the objective is not to see. We are not this dumb as a civilization that we thought, oh, that lump of metal is going to deliver us benefits. We're not people who offload our work to say, okay, I'll do some of it, you take care of the rest of it. We're people who wanted to empower this machine and used whatever means we have in our arsenal to empower this. That is something that depicts a very deep, profound understanding as to how one can enhance this here. And what are the names? There are mantras, there are sounds, there are rituals. When we pour water or milk or offer leaves or flowers and fruits, we only eat it up later on. But they are all so insightfully crafted so that this machine finds its fullest potential. And these shlokas of Soundarya Lahari are, how do I put it, cunning, they're tricky. So what are some of the sounds that one can use to affect this machine so that it functions at its highest? There is this whole technology of mantras and sounds, and there are, the most prevalent of all of them being the pranava, that all of us know, the omkara sound. The multiple religions understand that this is the sound of the divine. I don't know about the researchers that it's the sound of the sun or the cosmos, not sure. Being an engineer, I have to admit that the research there is flimsy. But we know that is a sound that happens within the body when you perceive and go to that deep state of being which is beyond thought. And the being corresponding to one aspect of these 7 chakras, and u being at a slightly higher part, and correspond. Is very tangible. If you just, can we all say somewhere happening in the head, it's so obviously tangible. Is also very clearly tangible, but it takes a little more perception, attention. You can try it later on. If you really, with the basest voice that you can muster, say you clearly see a tangible tingle below the navel, somewhere, wherever that is. For some of us, it is very tangible. It took me some time to get there, so I know not all of us are there yet. But it is possible, it's tangible, as clearly as is very easily perceivable for all of us. So these sounds, this being the most primordial sound, which is there for a generic upward movement of vibration. What other combinations of sound can be used so that not a generic movement, but something that I want to achieve? I don't want it to go only in this direction. Maybe I want it to go in some other direction, want some specific benefit in the world. So they came up with Shreem. And they said, this is something for wealth. Aim, they said, this is something for studies. Hreem, they said, this is something that takes your illusions away. So they have crafted these different kinds of, I won't stop you from using your mobile phones, but you can use it on silent. Thank you. So this kind of sounds and using them, of course, when it is a pyramid and you want to move your direct energies or in one direction specifically for your own benefit and not build it from the top. If it's a pyramid, you have to build it at the base, first. If you build somewhere else and don't have the base strong enough, it will somewhere wobble, topple, do something. But these sounds are capable of moving it in that direction very strongly. So instead of providing these sounds and saying you can do this, Adi Shankara inserted these sounds somewhere in between the shlokas. He just layered them in so that as we are chanting these shlokas, this chant of those bija mantras are also happening in the shlokas. It's a beautiful, that's why I say cunning, tricky way of empowering yourself. You want it or you don't want it, I am going to empower you now. You take it, you are there for your relishment, you are there thinking, oh, this is poetry. Oh, but I have my own intentions with you. This is another level of wanting well-being for the world. These shlokas of Soundarya Lahari, they go on to beautiful such descriptions of these 7 chakras. There is this beautiful shloka. Let's start with the fundamentals. Let's do one last shloka for today. We'll do 3 shlokas, one last one, which talks about the Mooladhara. We'll not take the liberty of doing Sahasrara or Agnya first. We'll start with the Mooladhara. Please close your eyes. Repeat after me. Mahim Mooladhare, Mahim Mooladhare, Kamapi, Manipure, Hutavaham, Mahim Mooladhare, Kamapi Manipure, Hutavaham, Sthitam Swadhisthane, Sthitam Swadhisthane, Hrudi Marutam, Akashamupari, Sthitam Swadhisthane, Hrudi Marutam Akashamupari, Hrudi Marutam Akashamupari, Manopi, Bhru Madhye, Manopi Bhru Madhye, Sakalamati Sandhaya Bhuvanam, Sandhaya Bhuvanam. Oh, sorry. Sakalamapi Bhitva Kulapatham. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Manopi Bhru Madhye, Manopi Bhru Madhye, Sakalamapi Bhitva, Sakalamapi Bhitva, Kulapatham, Kulapatham, Sahasrare, Padme, Sahasrare Padme, Saharahasi, Saharahasi, Patya Viharase, Patya Viharase, Saharahasi Patya Viharase, Sahasrare Padme, Saharahasi Patya Viharase, We'll do it one more time at the end. Please gently open your eyes. As I was chanting this, I realized this is not on Mooladhara. This is the whole thing. I did not intend this. Honestly, I did not intend this. And then I got distracted. What am I doing? This is a different shloka. Suppose maybe all sadhakas hear that, not just Mooladhara, let's do the whole thing from Mooladhara to Sahasrara. I went in that direction and I got distracted. I'm sorry. So this shloka talks about the movement of her from the base of the spine to the top of the spine that we were talking about. I thought we'll end on, there is a different shloka on just Muladhara. Uh, well,
This is
this
nicely,
happened. This happened as a
yeah.
third shloka. So thank you so much for, I don't know, something that you guys are doing here. That anyway. So Mahim Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham Sthitam Swadhishtane Hridi Marutam Akashamupari Manopi Bhru Madhye Sakalamapi Bhitva Kulapatham Sahasrare Padme Saharahasi Patya Viharase. The same things that we have talked about, how the spine is arranged in such a way that the densest is at the bottom and the subtlest is at the top, and how there is a movement of energy that happens along the spine that pierces through these energy centers and rises to the top at Sahasrara, which is beyond Agnya, which is beyond thought. So there are these different elements is what it's talking about. Earth element at the Muladhara, and water element at Swadhisthana, and fire at Manipuraka. Fire and water there are intermixable, and wind at Anahata, the lungs. Space at Vishuddhi, at the throat, space for sound, and thought at Agnya, and beyond. That is this shloka. Let's do it line by line this time. Please close your eyes. I'll do it slowly, and the second time also I'll do it along with you. Let's do it together. Mahim. No. First listen to me as I do it very, very slowly. Second time, let's do it together. Mahim Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham. Mahim Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham. Sthitam Swadhisthane Hridi Marutamakashamupari. Sthitam Swadhisthane Hridi Marutamakashamupari. Manopi Bhru Madhye Sakalamapi Bhitva Kulapatham. Manopi Bhru Madhye Sakalamapi Bhitva Kulapatham. Sahasrare Padme Saharahasi Patya Viharase. Sahasrare Padme Saharahasi Patya Viharase. Please gently open your eyes. So this is that shloka where from the metaphor of her being that Shakti, without which even the Devas cannot function, to her being a mathematical form, which is a consequence of 4 triangles meeting 5 triangles, to her being a force of creation, that Shakti within the human body. He has covered everything: the cosmic scape, the geometric metaphor, and the human body. So, whenever I present these videos, I keep telling my audiences that whatever stories we have, they have all these 3 metaphors happening simultaneously. There is a fantasy element to it. If they say there is Kshirasagara Mathana happening, Devas and Asuras started fighting and they churned an ocean of milk, and from that came different kinds of outputs, and finally what came out was immortal elixir called Amrita. It is a metaphor for the human spine, and the ocean of milk being the reproductive energy that nature has stored for itself, for creation to happen, and us dipping into it and trying to express it into so many different ways. And as the forces of conflict happen within us, different kinds of stories behind them. One very fascinating thing there is, you know what Indriya means? We all know what Indriyas, the sense organs. And we all also know who Indra is. the god of the devas, the lord of the devas. In Vedic chants, he is in fact the biggest deity to approach and master. And they say when you're trying to master your senses, the first thing, the first guy who would throw all sorts of obstacles in your path is Indra. He'll throw this apsara on your way. He'll cause rain, thunder, whatever, because it is his seat which is being shaken. So Indra is seen as the Lord who rules over the Indriyas, and once you master it, you are Indra. So you are trying to replace him. So he is trying to test you. This is a fantasy story of it, but it also has a physiological correlation, and there are also methods, practices that get us there. So these three metaphors are happening simultaneously. If it's a Dashavatara stories, if there are Dashavatara stories, they have metaphors of how things are happening across the cosmic scape in the human body, and as a fantasy story. So all of these aspects, all many different ways in which we approach our worship or our approach to the divine, accessing the divine. So with that, I would urge you all to explore all the 100 shlokas of Soundarya Lahari, either for its poetic beauty and brilliance, for the Shikharini Chandas, for the pattern, the 17 syllable pattern, na 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 na. All the three shlokas you notice, Mahi Moola Dhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham. Sitam Swadhishtane Hrudi Marutama Akashamupari. Same pattern. So try it for that poetic relishment. Or if you're into mathematics and want to explore those patterns, the geometrical patterns there, approach that. Or if you want to empower yourself and use it for sadhana, you do that. But interestingly enough, cunningly enough, all of that empower us and lead us in that same path of us accessing that potential within ourselves, which is more fundamental than thought, which is the source of all of creation. So with those three common patterns, we have 10 minutes more. Should we, despite me talking about spiritual topics, whatever else, I'm a sadhaka. And also more fundamentally than that, I'm a Sanskrit teacher. So if you want to learn grammatical concepts, or if you want to learn any other pieces of literature, do check out my YouTube channel. And that's what I'm, for my livelihood, I'm a YouTuber. So do check out the Sanskrit channel. What's planned, Akka? 8 o'clock we said we'll...
Yeah, we can, if they have any questions.
Yes,
or if they want
we have 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Let's take questions. And I know, some of you might be new to each other. So, thank you so much, Aberdeen, I guess. So I hope you guys keep meeting regularly. And I will, I'm sure all of you have a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, we have the 18th.
Perfect. So in that, I'll share these resources. There is a document, Google Docs document, where all these shlokas are present, and we can understand it, explore it for yourself. Maybe meet on weekends. There is one person who can speak Sanskritam. So, Bhagini Kripaya Pathayatu Sanskritam, Sambhashana Sanskritam api. Shlokan न भो केवलं संस्कृत संभाषणमेव अतीव मधुर इदानीम् अहं यदि अहं संस्कृतभाषायां वदामि भवन्तः सर्वे अवगन्तुं शक्नुवन्ति खलु किञ्चित् न शक्यते हस्तम् उत्थापयतु न शक्यते अहं न जानामि संस्कृतं सर्वे के जानन्ति संस्कृतम् उत्तमं तर्हि अतीव सुलभा सरला भाषा संस्कृतभाषा सर्वे पठन्तु पाठयन्तु च so you can meet regularly, you can, this is such a, I started doing it not because, I wanted to empower myself or, start a YouTube channel or, get some siddhi, nothing. I loved that language and it just keeps providing more and more. It's insane. So please keep meeting regularly, and for the next 7-8 minutes, if you have questions, anything about what I do or what, or any comments, questions, welcome.
So where did you learn?
I started...
Like how you became so proficient?
How I became proficient is with time and with effort. And effort felt effortless because I started loving it. There's no two ways about it. How I am proficient. I'll take that credit for myself. Not because, and I started when I was 25, not since childhood. In my first job, since childhood there was curiosity for languages. I'll not deny that, but it's not never a case that, oh, I can't say these words now, or this all, my tongue is too thick now, I've grown old now. Nothing. At 25, having done all sorts of nonsense in life, having not really kept myself in in doing any kind of sadhana, at 25 I could start. The only how the answer is time and consistent effort. In fact, Yoga Sutras has this one line which says, Satu dirgha kala nairantarya satkara sevito dridha bhumi. If you want to establish yourselves firmly in any discipline, dirgha kala, you have to do it for long. Nairantarya, you have to do it without any antarayas or interruptions, gaps. Dirgha kala, nairantarya, satkara. You approach it with some kind of satkara, not meaning oh reverence and bowing down to it, but doing it with that love, do it well,
And you learned it
relishing
on
it.
your own?
No. The first time I knew that there is Sanskrit studies happening, it was because a colleague was interested in it. He was heavily into RSS, and he's like, oh, Samskrita Bharati, which is an organization which has pioneered conversational Sanskrit. Their whole understanding is bhasha and sambhashanam are inseparable. A language is alive when conversation happens in it. And they are across the world. They're a volunteer-run organization, and they have multiple. They're here in Aberdeen.
They have in Leicester, Samskrita Bharati in the UK.
Online classes. They have this format. This is amazing group. They would do miracles with this kind of a group. In over a weekend, they start you up with speaking to each other in Sanskrit.
Is it?
Yeah. I used to do that. I used to
I've
conduct
heard
this.
about them, but
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And if you find a passionate enough teacher, they'll be like, we got fodder, and they'll go full on, and they'll make you do skits, make you do Panchatantra stories. Their whole approach is how Sanskrit conversation can be picked up within 10 hours. That's what they demand.
Wow.
10 hours. How you format that 10 hours is up to you.
Yeah, that's what
5 hours morning, 5 hours evening if you really are into it, or 1 hour for 10 days if you want that, or over a weekend with lunch, they provide all that and do that. So maybe you can start a center here in Aberdeen and
There is something called Sanskrit Bharati in UK.
mhm.
They do online classes periodically.
Yeah.
One starts in February.
See if you can do that, and I'm sure the volunteers there would be happy to come to Aberdeen. Especially this crowd is great crowd. They would go berserk with this kind of. They're like, if there are 10 people, we'll start a class. That's their approach. So definitely.
For like improving the uchcharan?
Oh, that's a great question. So because we started. I'm sorry, your name.
Ajay.
Ajay ji has asked any tips for improving Uchcharan, because we, as this diverse country, are known to butcher words in our own unique ways. So Telugu people would say Kadha or Manmadha or Ardha for Tha. Wherever there needs to be Tha, Telugu people will say Dha. But Artha means meaning and essence, also wealth. Ardha means half. Tamil people mix up ka, ga, ha. We don't have what ha, ka, what ga. It's all the same letter. So, and sa, cha, namachivaya. So we don't have sha. We love Shiva and we like bow down to him. We are mad about Shiva. We don't have a letter sha. We write Shiva and read it Shiva. And if there is any other mix up, we do that. Gujarati is sa, sha. Bengali is va, ba. But these make or break the meanings of words. Not that unless you get it perfectly, precisely right, they'll not work for you. They still work for you, these chants. But the better you utter them, even vocally, it's a better, capability to have for ourselves. Tips for that is there is this story. Time of how Sanskrit was born. I'm sorry. You're okay with time? You're okay with time? All right. Okay. On how Sanskrit was born. Tamil people came in and said, oh, this is the same story as how Tamil is also born. But the story goes that the Saptarshis, once upon a time, the famed disciples of Shiva, the 7 Saptarishis, they went to visit him. Where?
Kailash.
Kailash, of course, naturally. So they climbed up the mountain, they went there, saw Shiva, everything is nice, happy. And the time came for them to go back. And what does Shiva have to give the guests who came? Nothing. The snow on top of the mountain, nothing else. But he's a great dancer. So he danced for them, just to entertain them before they go. They're like, okay, I'll dance for you. And at the end of this dance, he picked up his damru and just to entertain them, struck his damru 14 times. And those 14 sounds form entirety of Sanskrit. That's it, 14 sounds. They say Nandi, who was outside, heard these 14 sounds and started writing a commentary saying these sounds are how creation itself happened. And then Panini, who was much somewhere else, Panini, a sage below Kailash, heard these 14 sounds. Oh, these sound nice, and wrote 4,000 rules of grammar called Ashtadhyayi. It's just these 14 sounds. You practice these 14 sounds, your pronunciations are on point. It is a mantra. These sounds are called Maheshwara Sutrani. They go Ayundril Eong Ayauch Hayavarat Lanyamangananam Jabhanya Gadadash Jabagadadash Kapachatata Chatatao Kapai Shashasar Hal. Doesn't mean a damn thing. No meaning. No meaning whatsoever. Sounds, if we really do it.
Yeah, yeah.
3 cycles, this room will be bursting with energy. It's like Shiva came, played his damru here, it will
Yes,
be.
yes.
It'll take a good.
Whole school life.
Uh-huh.
Shatkod wala sha, shakkar wala sha,
Yeah,
sapno wala sa.
correct.
That was the biggest problem.
Correct. So,
Still, I'm not able to empower them.
yeah, there is a funny shloka in Sanskrit which says, even if you don't know much Sanskrit, even if you don't study much grammar, yadyapi bahunadhishe tathapi pathaputra vyakaranam. Even then, learn little vyakarana, because swajanaha shvajanaha sakalaha shakalaha mabhut swajana shvajanaha sakrit shakrit. The shloka says, even if you don't read too much Sanskrit, just learn a little grammar, because don't make sakala into shakala. Sakala means everything. We all know sakala means everything. Shakala in Sanskrit means a piece. In Hindi, it means face, an aspect of the body. Don't make sakala into shakala. Don't make swajana. Swa is self, jana, people, our own people, relatives, neighbors, my people. Shva, adhomukha shvanasana. Shva means a dog. Shvajana is the dog kind, like mankind. Don't make swajana shvajana, and don't make sakrit. Sakrit is at once. Shakrit is feces, excrement. Don't make sudden. So there are really severe Dante, like scoldings that you need to get this. And what is the best exercise to get there? Maheshwara Sutrani. What is a great way to, worship Shiva? Maheshwara Sutrani. What is and you learn these 14 sounds. If you really unravel these 14 sounds, that's it. That is entirety of Sanskrit language. I don't know Sanskrit. Honestly, I don't even know if we can count on one hand how many people actually know Sanskrit, because knowing Sanskrit is knowing creation.
Oh, wow.
That's where it is. All of us are people who have read it before, ahead or behind or somewhere, and carry some information. For me, this is yet another method. It is like bhakti, like hatha yoga, like kriya yoga, like pranayama, like Sri Vidya. Learning Sanskrit is yet another path to get to reach the same destination of realizing what the relationship between the created and the source of creation is. So it will take a good 20 minutes minimum to learn Maheshwara Sutrani.
I don't know. I wish take the
Yeah?
audience. I don't know. I am okay, but I don't
We
know.
can,
how the
if this
audience
goes like this, there'll be a
I'm
break.
like-
There'll be a break, and then we'll continue, and there'll be a break. I'll stay back in Aberdeen. I don't have that kind of visas, guys. But just kidding. But Bhagini Janati Khalu Maheshwara Sutrani. You can learn from. I'm so sorry.
Lavanya.
Lavanya ji knows Maheshwara Sutrani. So conduct classes. You can honestly telling you, if even 3 people chant it thrice in a room, anybody, like how tangible that was in the head, the room starts bursting with, crackling with that energy.
It's just sometimes,
Crazy.
to roll your anas and nas and,
Right.
some of the sounds what you did.
Mhm.
I think we need little training.
That's how these sounds are.
Yeah.
That, exactly for that particular reason, to get them right, sa, sha, sa, sa are put in one line. So that you practice this, and get sha, sa in one go. They're not put away so that people might get it right immediately. They put it in one line. Sha, sar, hal. Say sha, sa. And if you can say it quickly enough, it becomes, you practice it. Yes.
If there's no further questions, the group has given a go-ahead to try and do it in 15 minutes.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yes.
I have some questions. Maybe.
Yes. Question.
No, actually, my view is that because you're a Sanskrit teacher, I want to know from you, are you exploring anything in the direction that learning Sanskrit will improve the structured way of thinking or structured way of thought process? That will be of great value for the youngsters.
Yes. I know through experience that there is a lot of benefit. Learning any classical art form rewires your brain to approach problems systematically. There is value there. But when I make claims like this, if I want to make claims like this, I would much rather they come from a different reliable Western standards of reliability than from me. If you want just my answer, absolutely yes. Every classical art form has that. Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Carnatic music, Hindustani music, Kathak or Odissi, they will all sculpt your being, not just the body, not just the mind, not just the words, but if you really learn any art form that we have, it takes you in that direction of structured thinking, a balanced, holistic, health, mental health, physical health, they are an outcome. But I don't give out those claims that, there are these benefits. What I can claim is absolutely yes. Opinion I can give. Yes, 100%, guys. Full. But if I want to do that claim, I'd much rather it come from somebody who has done these studies, or somebody it needs that a sample set, and somebody who are, and a comparison set, and whatever they call it.
But it's very easy to compare with English, right? Because Sanskrit can be easily compared with English and say that it is much more structured and more.
It is. I don't know if it is so simple. It's so tangible. Have you all of you know that kakha ga ghanga chacha ja jhanya are arranged in the exact same sequence as to how they are pronounced in the mouth. It's just a simple, like, takes hardly a minute. Take 2 fingers, place them at the pit of the throat, say ka. Ka. Can you see that there is a flap that is constricting there, and that's where ka is coming from? Say kha. Same place. Kha. Say it out aloud. Kha. Ga. Same place. Ga. Gha. Same place. Nga. Same place. Nga. The nga. The ga is that sound which is between the 2 gas of ganga. That nga. Yeah. Take the hands off. All these 5 sounds from the same place. Now the next row of consonants, cha. The surface of the tongue with the roof of the mouth, cha. Cha. Same place. Cha. Ja. Same place. Jha. Same place. Nya. The sound between 2 chas of chanchala. Nya. Same place. Surface of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Ta. Tongue rolling back, roof of the mouth. Ta. Tha. Same place. Same position of the tongue. Tha. Da. Dha. Na. Ta. Tongue against the back of the teeth, upper row. Tha. Da. Dha. You know that is where na also needs to come from. Na. Last, pa. Pha. Lips meeting. Ba. Bha. Ma. You see there is a progression where these sounds are coming from. Kaka ga ganga, chacha ja jhanya, tata da dhana, tata da dhana, papa ba ba. Beyond this, there is nothing else. This is the alphabet. We didn't even go to words. This is the precision with which the language is crafted, that even the letters, forget sentences, forget words, forget poetry, forget the rhythm, letters. I came to the UK because in Oxford, there is the Oxford University. Students of different disciplines all have these electives of picking a classical language. Their options are Greek, Latin, Sanskrit, and Tamil. They can pick one of these classical languages, and they have a strong Sanskrit department who do plays every few months, every quarter, and such. And they have a Sanskrit lunch every month, like beginning Sunday or something of every month. They are trying to learn Tamil and Sanskrit, and see that this is a structure. These are structured languages which are classical, which have some value still. And somewhere we are, we need reasons, and we kind of, prioritize other things before that. But what a treasure we have back home, which enriches us beyond our thought and so many different ways. So definitely, please learn it. Continue to learn it. Thank you for the question. Anything? Yes.
There are a lot of old people who are trying to learn this shlokam. They are not in a stage to learn Sanskrit and understand the meaning and appreciate it, but they are still, when they are good at their pronunciation, they are able to pronounce it properly. Is there a difference in the benefit that is obtained? Comparing a person who can understand the meaning and appreciate the shloka and receive the benefit, compared to anyone who doesn't understand the language, but still with the same devotion they are able to chant. Is there any difference in the benefit that is received by?
Difference in the benefit that is received specifically. So definitely that in the experience, of course, by understanding the meaning, one's own connect with it is deeper, obvious. In the benefits that are received, I would say one of the benefits is the relishment itself of the shloka. So that there the benefit slightly reduces. The impact of these sounds on the body, I would say, my opinion again, is no. Definitely not. It is sound and how it is. These are all not only based on faith. It's not necessary that you have to connect at the level of emotion to derive benefit from practices that are based in sound. Sound is impactful, so it has a benefit. But again, my engineering background restricts me from giving out these claims unless there is some kind of a corroborative proof that yes, this is the benefit and this is the. I am also conditioned, guys. In my thinking that if I want to make such claims, I would much rather have empirical evidences. But my gut says that when it pertains to how sound impacts and the sadhana there is, because there are many sadhana kind of sounds, the Panchadashi mantra or the Ashtakshari mantra, they have some sound. The Khadgamala Sutra, Aim Hrim Hrim or Aim Klim Sauho, they don't have meaning. There is nothing to connect with it emotionally, but they do deliver a benefit. So my gut says absolutely there is no reduction in benefits. One reduction in benefit, which obviously is there, which is a benefit, is how you can relish it, how much you can relish it. That's the only way.
Maybe I'll take one question. I know I'm at vast, but I thought many people will have. When we chant, right, after learning Soundarya Lahari, and as you said, the Mahapranas and Alpa Pranas and all, it started focusing more on Lalita Sahasranamam and Vishnu Sahasranamam. Sometimes without knowing, if we don't pronounce that Mahaprana, does the meaning change?
Yes. It is not necessary that every single time there is some adverse different meaning like Sakala versus Shakala or Artha versus Ardha.
Yeah.
Sometimes the meanings might not be distorted that badly.
Yeah.
But again, our stories go to such an extent, but that there was once a man who had a grudge or some kind of vengeance against Indra. So he does this intense tapas to get a son who kills Indra. The word for that is Indraha, the one who kills Indra. But that Indraha should be said in such a way that ha is pronounced in the chant that he does. Vedic chants have swaras also, there is tones. That he says it slightly with a higher intonation, where the samasa, which is how that the one who kills Indra versus the one who gets killed by Indra. Just the way that is said. So there is this story. It's a metaphorical story that conveys something else. But that is the level to which they say, oh, be very careful with your pronunciations. Having said that, there is absolutely no need for fear or doubt and
because
that
some people
oh,
get
things.
scared and they don't even chant, right?
Exactly.
Because, you know,
Not at
they
all.
might-
Not at all.
yeah.
So, in that extent, if you really see, look at it, many pundits and pujas, it's not like even I make mistakes. Like I messed up a whole line thinking about something else. You all, have, it's natural to make this. And there are shlokas, Yadakshara Padam Bhrashtam. There are Aparadhakshamapana Stotras, which talk about, which do that Shanti. And nothing else happens. There is a Shanti mantra at the end. Whatever it is, okay, Shanti, let there be peace. And no other, anartha. So there are safeguards. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I agree. The efficacy is reduced for sure. That reduced efficacy, does it lead towards harm? There is no need for that fear.
Yeah, that's
it.
the main.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we talk about this, like in Ramayana, we have a very good story about Rishi Valmiki. He was like not a good man.
Right.
Somebody told him like, you say Ram, Ram, Ram,
Right.
so your life will get changed.
Right.
He told, I cannot pronounce Ram
Right.
because like I'm not a good man.
Right.
So they told to you pronounce
Ram. Yes.
Ram, Ram, Ram.
Yes.
So sometimes like it's just not the wording
Right.
or the vibration, but it's
Right.
how it is coming out within you.
Right. Right. There is something more subtle than sound, which is intent and thought, which, of course, and how powerful is your intent. This sound, act, there is much is physical. Beyond external action, which is karma, there is internal action that one can do with our breath within ourselves, focus based on our thoughts. There is kriya, there is bhakti, that emotion one can connect with, and there is intent and thought. So, and sounds. There is this no kayena vacha manasendriyarva. Yeah, they say everything, whatever else that I do, it's yours, take it. And so there are these, safeguards. So there is no need for worry that. And there is another, I'll take the liberty of asking myself that question and answering it, as to can we chant Lalita Sahasranamam or Vishnu Sahasranamam or Soundarya Lahari without getting initiated into it, the Diksha. Diksha is definitely a powerful tool to get results quickly, and is absolutely essential when doing very specific short sounds as practice, regular practice. But stotras in general are intended as compositions that describe something, praise something, which qualify something in some ways. And stotras in general can be chanted without any hesitation, without any diksha, and any time of the month, any number of shlokas that you want to pick. Soundarya Lahari, if I have to start, do I start from 1 and go on until 100? No, you can pick the 71st and just do it any number of times you want, any time of the day, even if you have eaten, slept. This kind of thing should not be done with Gayatri mantra or Panchakshari mantra or Rudram or Vedic chants. Vedas are all corpuses of mantras or suktas. So for those, do it with that, with that dedication, with prescriptions that have been set down. But stotra is, oh, should I not eat vegetarian food, non-vegetarian food, or drink alcohol, or do that, whatever else. No restrictions for stotras. Mantras, please don't do such things, is what the tradition says.
I'm a good church lover, sorry. So I tend to not repeat after them because they may not get the purity of the sound as such. So as you said, it doesn't really matter if you say something wrong uchar because you're following somebody else who was saying it wrong in the first place. So that's
I didn't say it doesn't really matter. That's just taking little. Yeah. But there are pacifications, there are remedies of if you inadvertently get it wrong, not a license to get it wrong. Yeah. Yes. If you learn Maheshwara Sutrani, there is just 14 sounds, not too many sounds, just 14 sounds, you will be able to make that judgment for yourself. Within a month, I would say, just a month, reciting it thrice every day. I have had courses. Anybody who has done Vakshuddhi here by any chance?
I don't want to raise
Okay,
that,
yeah. So when people come to me asking, I want to learn Sanskrit, sometimes I want to learn Vedas directly. My first thing is there are 4 steps towards learning the Vedas. First, most fundamental step is Vakshuddhi. Get the sounds right, because sound is meaning. Like we saw, stha has that sound. If you, that is how most of our words are built. Bha represents brilliance and radiance. So that's why Prabha, Abha, Bhanu, Bhaskara, Shobha, words that you find with Bha are all radiance, brilliance, light. Kha, the sound, represents space. Su is good, du is bad. Sukha is good space, so happiness. Dukha, bad space. Kha, ga, ga represents movement. So kha, ga, anything that moves across space. Generally they say bird, but anything, Surya is a khaga, anything, we are all khagas. Khaga is anything that moves through space. You change that kha to ka or ga to something else, meanings change. Again, not to be a fear monger, but this is the precision with which the language is crafted. This is so how to get there to that mastery of it? 14 sounds, 3 times a day, 1 month, done. And paying that attention to where these sounds are coming from, kaga ghanga, where it's coming from, how to say it, and yeah, I'm very sure, like you said, it is a much more of an uphill task for somebody who doesn't know any Indic language to do this. You keep saying no, Kirita, 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 Kirita. So, but we can do this. So it just takes some time and effort. That's it. Yeah. Any other question? Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you once again. Can we end this with once again Vagarthaviva Samprikta? I'll do it word by word. Let's not do it line by line. Please close your eyes. Put your spectacles. Take your spectacles off. Please close your eyes. Vagarthaviva. 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 Sampraktau. 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 Vagartha pratipattaye. Vagartha pratipattaye. Vagartha pratipattaye. Vagartha pratipattaye. Jagatah pitarau vande. Jagatah pitarau vande. Jagatah pitarau vande. Jagatah pitarau vande. Parvati Parameshwarau. Parvati Parameshwarau. Parvati Parameshwarau. Parvati Parameshwarau. Namaskaram. Thank you. Namaskaram. Thank you. Thank you. Namo Namah.